this. I got this. It was on sale, but it says because I live next to it. It says Tenafly Viper, and then next to
Wait,
Tenafly.
Wait, what is that again? Street Trash?
Street Trash. It's a cult horror movie. The Tenafly Viper. People drink. If you drink the Tenafly Viper, it basically rots you away.
Welcome, everybody. Come on, come to the Diz Idiots. We're idiots, so you don't have to be. Yeah. Bruce, Brian, Dozer, we're here.
What's up, people?
Yeah. And the Tenafly Viper. Do a drink, lose your head. I think, was that it? Did I get it right?
Well, do melt away. Do a drink, melt away. That's why it kind of got the arm floating away. CavityColors.com.
Of course. Sponsor us.
Cavity Colors, please sponsor us. You know, I only spent more money on stuff that's coming because your pre-orders are taking forever, and I'm impatient, and please give me my Evil Dead Rise shirt. I didn't realize by combining it with pre-orders for the Killer Clowns from Outer Space 30th and the 35th anniversary shirts that everything would be released at the final pre-order date. So that's almost June. So Cavity Colors, if you listen to me, please sponsor us and give Bruce free stuff.
Bruce, by the way, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
In a purely heterosexual way.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. Also, I just had dinner with Mike Rain not too long ago.
Oh, nice. How's Mike doing?
Good. He works for Tempur-Pedic, Tempur Sealy as a rep, and he works for Mattress. His company's Tempur Sealy, but his client is Mattress Warehouse.
Nice.
So he's still in the mattress industry, and his territory is all the way out here to like Maryland, parts of Delaware even too. So he drives from so he'll text me like, "Hey man, you want to do dinner?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go to Chili's." So we'll just we just went to Chili's, and him and I of course had the same thing, the queso burger, and we both had peach El Presidente margaritas. So yeah, it was a good.
That sounds yummy.
Or was it raspberry? Or it might have been strawberry. I don't know. I wasn't afraid of the flavor. Mike was, and he was like, "Oh, do you gotta try it with the fruit?" I'm like, "All right, fine. Which one do you have?" He goes, "I'm thinking of strawberry." I'm like, "All right, what the hell?" And then of course I ordered the same dinner, and our waitress is like, "He's a copycat." I'm like, he was my big in our fraternity. Of course we have the same taste.
That happens all the time when I go out. Somebody orders something and they'll go, "What do you want?" I should have gone first because I want the same thing.
Yeah, I know. Because I even saw the name, Mike's gonna order the queso burger, and then I'm gonna be like, "Damn it, I'm gonna have to get that too." Because I was looking at everything else on the menu. I'm like, should I eat healthy? Should I get a salad? And I'm like, where's the salad section? Because Chili's, I haven't even been there recently, but when you open the menu up, it's pretty much fajitas and ribs. That's it.
I haven't been to a Chili's in God knows how long.
I mean,
that's a lie. November. I remember how long.
There's a section for appetizers. There's 4 different burgers to choose from. I think 2 or 3 types of salads, and then it's just ribs and fajitas. Crazy stuff.
I don't know the last time I was at a Chili's. I don't even know the last time I saw a Chili's.
But it's good though. I'll tell you what. I mean, the food's good for the price. It really is. You can't beat it.
Hey, that Chef Cuisinart does a hell of a job on nuking everything.
Yeah.
And what do we have on this thing? A Cuisinart?
We have a Mr. Coffee. Oh. So, Disney stuff.
Yeah.
Things. Lots of announcements today on the food blog, and a lot of Pride treats are coming, which I only like when Disney does it because they actually bake flavor to them. It's not just, by the way, rainbow food coloring. Rainbow food coloring is not a flavor. That's bullshit.
Tell that to my child.
Okay, your child's 5. They get an exempt. To them,
Now-
they can taste the mint.
Now, hold on a second here. I will like this. I kind of want to put, my foot down on this to kind of be the devil's advocate. Now, there is a recipe, depending on how you want to look at this, that my mom makes during the 4th of July sometimes for the red, white, and blue, but she used to make the
That's
rainbow
red, white,
tier
and-
cut.
Okay,
But
continue.
we also make the recipe does call for tier different colors for the rainbow. Now, all it really is here, gentlemen, is just Jello with different layers of the cream cheese filling in between Jellos. But you do get the different flavors all in one. So in a sense, it does taste like a rainbow,
Well, that's no. What I'm getting at is a lot of companies will say it's
but a rainbow flavor. But it gives you a
It-
rainbow
They,
flavor.
they just color it rainbow without adding flavoring, but it's still chocolate vanilla. No, that is not special. That is
But what
just food coloring. That's
But
what
what
I'm getting at.
I'm saying is, should they sell it as the Jello mold instead to have those flavors so that they can taste?
Yes.
This is they can do that. But what I'm getting at is Disney's Pride stuff tends to have fruity, berry, candy
Right.
like flavors. That's why compared to other companies, I like when Disney does it because they at least give you flavors, not just it's chocolate. Oh, great. What flavor is the cake? Oh, it's vanilla.
Right.
Then why even add food coloring? Anyways,
Right.
I digress. So that's coming out. I will admit the mostly coming to Disneyland so far that I've seen.
Yeah, I'm sure. Only Disneyland, because God forbid if that happens in Florida, ooh, it would
They've
be a
always-
prison. It would be they would open a prison next to Disney World. God
Wolf
forbid. God forbid that they have all that just.
Well, typically, most things happen at Disneyland. I've seen. They do all trickle over eventually, but most specialty items, all the cool stuff, happens at Disneyland. The trio of the hitchhiking ghosts of obviously beignet holder. Let's not touch
Oh,
on
yeah.
that. But beignet holder, the popcorn bucket, and the sipper, all at Disneyland.
No, what I'm saying is though, like I remember there was a Disney memory of mine that I'll never forget, where I want to say it was maybe like elementary, middle school, around that time frame. Parents took me down to Disney for a week. It was Pride Week at Walt Disney World, and the color of the day was red. My mom and I were wearing red, and like I didn't know at the time what was going on until like I saw two guys
But
doing right. Point being, though, back then I do remember that it was like all over the place, like
Back
food,
then-
merch.
No, it wasn't.
Disney had nothing to do with it.
Thank you.
Really?
No, that is complete bull. They all wore red as a secret code. They did not do anything.
Oh,
Even when I was working there, they were still just rolling things out. That was like the Love Orlando merchandise at Universal. That's all. This is all a newer development, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. Normally, the special stuff, because
Huh.
Disney World caters to the worldwide tourists, that's unfortunately why they tend to keep it with things they're going to offer more year round. Unfortunately,
Okay.
they do sell the special merchandise. It usually does trickle over to Disney World. They just did not announce that today yet, because all the locations I saw were Disneyland locations. It doesn't matter because I'm not down there, and you have to buy stuff online anyway.
Also, Disneyland, especially if it's a new item, they can get away ordering a hell of a lot less.
Correct.
true.
Disney
I've-
World, that's a whole different ordering game.
That's extremely true.
But hey, new stuff. When I was there, they had a whole, and they were still kind of setting it up because the merchandisers were still going around approving things, but they had a whole Pride section of the creation shop.
Yeah, they could have stuff down there that this was just like a tumbler, 2 tumblers, a popcorn bucket, and the sipper. Which the sipper looked like a disco ball. Which I was like, well, that's just fun.
The Pride bucket's awesome. Is that the balloon?
Metal balloon.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that one looks cool in the sipper. I don't know. Sipper cups I think are adorable. As the man who regularly likes to drink out of a pumpkin-shaped sipper. Little Boo forever.
I think I have specified this before, but I need to specify it again. As you know, Disney still doesn't give you lids. This is a problem you solved back in the 90s. When you had the little soda cups that folded over like a milk jug. Bring them back.
Wait, I'm trying to remember them. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to remember them.
Paper cups.
You're right.
Then they would fold the top over, and there's a hole for the straw on the side.
Yeah. Like the Donald Duck orange juice.
Yep.
Or start selling more sippers like the Donald Duck candy corn sipper that didn't come to Disney World for like 3 weeks. Anyway, I digress because I wasn't there when it was out, and I'm still angry about that, but I digress.
My other thing I want, and I understand the price would be higher, but I would love a cup that works at both my resort and at the parks for drinks.
What that man said. What that man said, I know you're listening to us, somebody.
What, those refillable mugs don't work at both places?
No. Your resort ones do not work at the park the same way the park ones do not work at a resort. The RFID, frankly, I'm sorry, the RFID, well, I get it. Well, you already sold them at the resort. People, you're not actually going to be losing money on this, Disney. The park ones, you're only gaining money on that.
Well, how do you know which ones are the park ones and which ones just because you buy from the resorts only at the resort? And if
it's the look of them. The park ones are only specifically at the parks, and you can only get that design at the park.
And they are more
RFID'd.
They're more soda designed versus coffee designed.
Correct.
So, like, when I got the 50th, like, is there a way I can tell on this one?
Where'd you get it?
I don't remember. I want to say we got it at Coronado Springs, but
it's resort. It's simple as that. Brian, there's a way to tell. You try it, and it's not going to work. It's RFID'd.
It's not going to work anyway. It's past
that too.
2 weeks.
What? I thought these were used. Like, you can bring them back every year.
And they will activate them. You have to be activated at checkout.
So how much is activation? Probably the price of a new mug.
I bet you
it's probably the price of a new mug. That's where they get you.
Could be. I don't know if because you're returning, they may make it, but most people aren't. Again, because it's mostly, remember, Disney World is mostly tourist based. They don't have to worry about that. There probably is a way. I don't know the price offhand, but that's most likely what the issue is.
But the
dining plans are coming back next year.
Yes. And thank God.
I know. Now, they never said how the system was going to be set up, though, fully. They just kind of gave like a broad idea.
Exactly the same, no premium tier.
Yeah, they're getting rid of the all you do is eat tier.
Okay.
It's quick service and regular.
The biggest thing I hope, because it only had a short window, I hope alcohol returns to it.
I saw a list. I think
it might be beer and wine.
That's all what it was before, but that works.
I believe they were. I believe it was returning on it. Yeah.
So
can you imagine like hard alcohol, the line outside of Trader Sam's for people to use their dining plan?
They would probably have an exclusion because those drinks are premium. They'd have an exclusion for that.
It wouldn't work either because the alcohol was not a snack. You got it only with a meal.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Trader Sam's doesn't serve full meals.
That's what I'm saying. Can you imagine if someone dropped the ball and they had that on there, like just the mad hysteria and rushed to Trader Sam's.
Yes, you could.
I guarantee they would get there. It doesn't work here. Why? Bottom of it, but it says it works. Bottom of it, rates and exclusions could change at any minute. Blah blah blah. Read the fine print.
Yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
everything
Guaranteed.
depends on if there's that little Disney Dining Plan logo next to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know.
Look, the Disney Dining Plan is worth its weight in gold during Food and Wine. It's the only time you may actually use all those goddamn snacks.
Man, I remember when they used to have the free dining plan option. Oh God, that was fantastic when they had those promos.
They may bring that out. They may bring something like that back. I'm happy that we're getting unrestricted park access again.
Yeah. So the likelihood of this whole park hopping after 2 is going to be gone,
Absolutely
you think?
gone. No park
Yeah.
reservation system. However,
Yeah.
that's gone. It's going to be 11, I believe, is when they're going to allow you, because they wanted to limit a big thing. They wanted to limit the buses. Yes, because I was one of the only ones I know that has done this. I got to Animal Kingdom. I came that day to ride Dinosaur. When Dinosaur was closed, after me going, well, that's bull. Can I just walk the track? The cast member looked at me. I'm obviously joking, and she made some thing about that not being safe. I was like, I can't with you. It's okay, serious one. Goodbye. Take your job serious someplace else. But at about 10 in the morning, I jumped over to Epcot. I was chauffeured on a bus by myself. I specifically sat in the back and cracked a joke about it.
Was it all? I'm trying to remember back in the day when they started the park hopping. Was it 11 o'clock?
No.
There's never been a restriction.
There's never been a restriction. They're going to make a restriction. There's going to be a restriction.
Sure.
That it's like 2 to 3 hours after opening. It's because they were just running empty buses. It wasn't economical. Like I said,
Right.
this guy was like, if you didn't show up, I would have to be. I was like, so I of course, being myself, I said, excuse me, Miss Daisy, I have a question. Miss Daisy has a question for you.
And remember, as far as I could tell, it's not totally no reservation. There are no When I read it, it was no reservation if you're buying a dated ticket.
Right.
And annual passes will have good to go days. Which means basically any non-peak times I could go without a reservation. If it is not a good to go day, I would need to make a reservation. And this is where the groan's going to come in, because I hear the groan. I hear it already. As we move to more virtual queues.
Yeah.
The reservations become essential. And it might be you don't need it, but if you have the reservation.
Even Volcano Bay is starting to go to standby.
I saw that and I'm like, even they're admitting it's not perfect. But especially as we're doing it with only like one big attraction, if you have the reservation for that park, that is what will allow you to make it at 7 a.m. before entering the park. If you
get it.
Yeah.
I get it, and I get it. I do, but again, there's a certain amount of you're charging people so much, and you're limiting their freedoms to make the choices here. That's my biggest problem with it.
Yeah.
I'm not fighting the progress. There's nothing we can do. I know it's here to stay, and that's going to be the end of it until an attraction cools off. That's how it's going to be. And no, that's not just a joke, because the next attraction they're probably opening as a water ride.
Really? Why is that, I wonder?
What?
He said you're like, I'm pretty sure the next ride's going to be a water ride. Like, no way, really? How do you know that?
I don't know. Crystal Ball says Tiana would be next.
What you don't know is it's the total new overhaul of Kali River Rapids.
Oh, Kali River Rapids. I forget you exist. Literally,
wrong.
I walked by it last time. I was like, I literally went, hey, you're still here. Cool.
Hey, we're almost there. We're almost there.
I walked by it and go, Meg was like, do I need to bring different shoes if we're going to ride Collie? I'm like, we're fucking not riding Collie. I don't need to be that wet.
Yeah.
Hey, at least their Rapids ride doesn't have an octopus in the middle. Popeye.
Sorry. Out of
You've
like
never been on it. That's right.
I rode it. I think I did get to ride it once, but out of the 4 times I went to Islands of Adventure, it was only operating once.
First time there, first time on it. We're on it. Everything's going great. My sister starts laughing hysterically. My father goes, "You have got to be kidding me," because I'm going in backwards. I go, "What?" He's like,
Close your eyes.
He goes, just look down. Why? Oh, son of a. And there's the giant tentacle. I'm like, come on. So what you're saying is Wimpy's was open just about as much as Popeye's was for you.
Yeah.
Well, how do you guys feel about this construction over there at the other park at Minions Land?
I don't hate. I know there's a lot of animosity going on behind the scenes about it, even within the company. I don't hate it. You need to have a theme for the eatery. Because we don't have Kid Zone open right now, it is nice to have something kid. As Dozer said, this more teen park. I don't mind that. I'm kind of Minion Land's fine. Part of me kind of hopes they're gonna get rid of or rechange the Despicable Me attraction, mainly because finally do something different with that ride system.
Yeah. I mean, my thought was take the element of the DreamWorks theater without the Kung Fu Panda, but because it's DreamWorks theater, make it look like a movie theater, and then pay an homage to Hanna-Barbera, where you do an original story of all the DreamWorks characters together in one cinematic ride.
No, that doesn't fit. Remember, that doesn't fit. DreamWorks is going to be in the back of the park.
This is just Minions.
That would work in the back of the park, yes. In the back of the park, that would work. But now
I was thinking. Well, no, because they're also paying homage to, or maybe not.
You're thinking of Illuminations properties.
Yeah.
Sing. Yeah. Secret Life. I'm under the belief. Now we've talked. This is jumping. We can talk about Minion Land still, but I'm under the belief because they announced there's going to be a meet and greet with Minions and Sing characters. I'm strongly wondering if they're not going to put a Sing attraction where Transformers is. Transformers is going to move over Decepticon coaster where Hulk is. Transformers takes over Spider-Man. Now, again, I don't know how hard it would be to build those elevators.
Now, granted, disclaimer at the bottom, speculation.
This is just speculation, of course.
But
this is just speculating.
Bruce, I am going to tag team on your speculation.
Please, be my guest.
Yeah.
And I think they're getting wise. And I think the studios is going to become a Disney-style family park.
100%. Oh, 100%. Wait. Hold on.
Which makes it even funnier when Horror Nights happens there.
Well, also, does that mean possibly just throwing this out there, just willing this into the universe? Does that mean Rip Ride Rocket's getting torn down?
Or rethemed to what's that roller coaster in Despicable Me?
Can't. Minion Land height limit. Super Silly Fun Land. That would fit. That I'm not against that, but I think a Rip Ride Rocket, you either tear it down and do something different, or just leave it as is. The only reason
here's something to think about. That is music. That's Music Courtyard. That could be something Sing related.
It's really just the Music Courtyard is just there. Well,
but you know what I mean, though.
Concerts to Horror Nights.
Yeah, but I'm saying for theming, though. because if they wanted, because I think because they're painting that one side of Transformers with this giant illumination like writing on it, to the point where they're titling this called Minion Land, but I think eventually they're going to be calling this Illumination Courtyard or like Illumination
The
Alley
Illumination,
or
I
Central.
think. Well, that's why I think you're going to have Minion Land is on your right. Illumination. Again, it depends if we're going to have Sing something and where Transformers is, if that's a possibility. Again, this is just something to when Marvel does go away. The inevitability of Marvel going away all plays into
Right.
that. But
Right.
it's not. I don't think you do something with the courtyard. I think you would do something with the Despicable Me attraction, the Minion Mayhem attraction. Because I'll be honest, VillainCon does. I'm curious. I don't think it sounds bad, and a lot of people say, "But where's the room?" You have 2 show buildings for Shrek and the pre-show to use. You have a lot of room there. Remember, you're going to be on a moving walkway. You could have 2 paths, which are the size of a Horror Nights house each. This doesn't have to be a huge attraction. Rewritability. It doesn't have to be. I think I'm picking up what they're putting down. I'm really curious to see what it's going to be. I like the idea. I like going with the Minions as those are fun movies, and they're like you said, this could be a more family style park. And you're right, it makes it even funnier when Horror Nights happens here.
Unless it's Epic Universe.
Again, Epic has a giant issue we've talked about. I don't know if Epic works because 1, are all of them connected? 2, sound stages.
Yeah.
3, the family style park's the one easier to close earlier in the day.
They
flip over instead of the park already geared towards teens that will be more theoretically better for later into the night.
Epic is. It depends on Epic's performance, and it depends on the layout. It's hard to say if they're going to be there right now, unless something drastic changes. Horror Nights ain't leaving studios. Period.
Because then also you put it in Epic. If everything's interconnected as we think, but then you still have to deal with all those different rights holders.
Well. Yes, not really. Only for Scare Zone theming, you possibly would. That's where you could run an issue there. The houses themselves aren't going to be an issue, but Scare Zones, yes, they could be. It depends on how the contracts are written. And if they could be using a more backstage area than we think. Now they could be building it with. They probably are building something with Horror Nights in mind there, but I think right now, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We don't know what kind of parking Epic's going to have. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Studios is built for it. It's been running here just fine for a reason.
They probably
and it has the city walk access.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Universal is going to wait a few years to at once, like just to see how much revenue this Epic Universe
Islands had it because they were struggling. And I don't know if you remember, Brian, when they announced Horror Nights was going to be an Islands of Adventure, pack it in. That's it. Worst year ever. It's ridiculous. It's going to be terrible. I can't believe they were up in arms until they came out and go, by the way, this was our biggest year yet. Oh, I guess it did work out well.
So before
arms when they announced it at Islands.
So before Horror Nights, Islands of Adventure was actually hurting. Interesting. I didn't know that. Interesting. So they had to use that to promote the theme park.
It was to help again. Universal basically had a simple method. We are in the red until Horror Nights, then we're in the black. We are golden.
I just thought the reason why they had Horror Nights was because it was the new park that they wanted to try something new.
No, you don't want to put it where you're popular, because then you're closing your popular shit to run it.
And then we had the issue of they tried the double park year. That did not go. To be fair, corn. Yes, corn was the issue. We are learning not to actually grow corn. I hope. Hurricane Andrew did hurt things. Thank you, corn. Every time Horror Nights has tried to grow corn, there's been a major hurricane. Andrew had it, and then just a couple years ago, 2017, 27, they once again had a Scarecrow the Reaping, and they grew corn outside. And the second weekend had the giant hurricane. So corn is verboten at Horror Nights. The state of basically people in Florida are just like, stop building corn. Why are you doing this to us? Anyway, I digress. But speaking of Horror Nights, have some updates for you.
I was just gonna ask any updates besides Chucky, or what do we got?
This is kind of speculation, but it looks all but confirmed. The speculation map they released a couple weeks ago, the locations I understand are wrong mostly. Stranger Things is back. Stranger Things is all but announced, unless something goes absolutely tits up with maybe a strike, the Writers Guild strike or something, or filming. Stranger Things season 4 is coming to Horror Nights. That would be the top secret. Now, top secret, it's top secret. No, it's on both maps. Top secret just might be the code name. Hawkins, top secret, Stranger Things. So Stranger Things is gonna apparently back.
So I mean, I'm happy, but I'm also mad.
I'm not happy listen, prove me wrong, but the second Stranger Things house was god awful.
See, and I'm surprised, frankly, that they wouldn't wait until the 5th. I mean, maybe this is a way to promote the 5th season coming out, the final season. But I
mean the 5th season coming out in 2048?
They hired George R. R. Martin to write the script.
They have. Now they haven't even started filming for Understand. Now they're going to even wait even longer. So good luck.
Yeah.
It's strike while the iron's hot. They have the contract with Netflix. They may not. I know we all been wanting Fear Street. For all I know, the contract is written. This could have always been the plans to happen. Take a year off. Do season 4. I don't know about season 5. We'll see how this goes. But that's apparently Stranger Things is apparently 100% confirmed. Behind the scenes, who knows? Things are always up to change. My fingers are still crossed. If Evil Dead Rise is happening, it's in that first house slot. Unless they're going to have one of the other sound stages and have an entrance before Rip Ride Rocket, like they did before. Evil Dead Rise was built. Hellblock Horror, after watching Evil Dead Rise, Hellblock Horror was 100% built for it. It was Evil Dead Rise, like all the rumors were. No doubt. I recognize the artwork painted over from the hotel, or the hotel from the apartment building.
We'll get to Disney, but Bruce, how was Evil Dead Rise?
So effing good! Oh my gosh, that movie, definitive Evil Dead experience. Don't need to watch anything else. Just watch Evil Dead Rise. It gives you everything. It's got the budget. It's just such a well done horror movie. It's got the humor. It's got it's all the references. It's got all the nods to the previous. It's just the beginning to end. I absolutely love that movie. I've watched it. I had to have watched it 20 times by now.
At first, because I was throwing a blank about the remake of the Evil Dead series, and I was like, "Wait a minute, is this a sequel to prequel? What is this?" And then I'm like, "Oh, this is like its own little thing."
It's not its own little thing, actually. Bruce Campbell confirmed that.
I know.
They said
that was the bigger reveal by the end. I was like, "I beg your pardon."
Oh no!
What's that reveal?
Actually, that reveal doesn't come in the end. That reveal comes with the first playing of the Necronomicon tapes, because it is not the same book. They said there are multiple events. It sounds like there might be 3 different books, but there are multiple that what happened at the cabin is not the only thing time it happened. So this is a different time. I like what they're doing. Bruce Campbell said there's good shot. We're going to get more, but it could be interconnected. It could not be. I hope we get another one.
They have to, because remember the best show, Ash versus the Evil Dead? That has to be. That has to be.
I love it, but he's saying the movies don't have to connect, because that's continuity issues could come into play.
But I'm saying with the show, though, the show could tie in with Are you saying wait? Are you talking about the old films with the new films, or which films are you referring to?
The new films 100% happened. He more or less said that in an interview. The new films did happen. The old films happened. With the new films going forward, they may not interconnect because it just goes, they're all happening in the same world and universe, but these are isolated stories.
So there could be a chance that Ash versus the Evil Dead then could, because it wasn't that its own little original storyline from the original films, or did
It was from the original storyline. There's one problem. Ash and Evil Dead may tie in reference only or in side character only.
Okay.
He has said on multiple occasions he is done playing Ash. On screen, Bruce Campbell is done playing Ash. He has said that on multiple occasions. Now, yes, it's easy to backtrack. Bruce Campbell is not the type to really do that necessarily. I also think it just comes age.
Yeah.
Age comes into factor here. But yeah, that's Evil Dead Rise. Watch it. Speaking of Evil Dead Rise and horror movies, I am crossing my fingers. We'll get back to Disney, but I'm crossing my fingers. I'm praying. Blumhouse's Exorcist was on the docket for, I hope, it's a Horrors of Blumhouse. I have seen the trailer. I have seen the trailer probably about 1,000 times now. For the love of God, don't make me wait for Five Nights at Freddy's for a second or third movie at Horror Nights. Just give me the fucking thing. I've waited too long for this to be in front of me in person. Horror Nights, just give it to me. Right in the mouth. Yes, I meant that the way it came out. Please, please. The trailer looks so good. Screw the people. I don't like the red eyes. It looks so good. Those Jim Henson shops. Outdone yourselves. Those animatronics look like from screen to life on screen. They look just like the video game.
Yeah, that. Wait, but did you say Blumhouse's Exorcist? They released a trailer for that?
No. Blumhouse's Exorcist is on the docket for Horror Nights. It was on the speculation list.
Oh, but I'm saying Blumhouse.
Off.
But you're saying Blumhouse is coming out with a movie, The Exorcist, a remake?
No, sequels. 2 sequels. I think at least 2 sequels.
When did they announce this?
A while ago. It's coming out this year. Would you stop? Relax.
Oh my God, I might have to find a trailer for that.
Trailer's not out yet.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. It's coming this year. Trailer's not out yet. We have in Blumhouse has Exorcist, Insidious, The Red Door. They had Megan, Exorcist. We have Insidious, The Red Door, and Five Nights at Freddy's. Of them all, Five Nights at Freddy's has already been greenlit for 2 sequels. So that's clearly the one they believe is going to do amazing. I thought Linda Blair's actually signed on to be in The Exorcist. It's Leslie Odom Jr. is one of the stars. I think Reagan's in it as a character. I think.
Interesting. I'm actually anxious to check that out.
I'm interested. It's one of those. You could at least just do Horrors of Blumhouse. Give me Insidious and Five Nights, and I'll be a happy kid.
And and you said Jim Henson. Jim Henson is behind the Five Nights at Freddy's.
Jim Henson Shops created. The Jim Henson Shops. They created the animatronics. They've been working on these animatronics for a long time now. They created the animatronics in the movie.
Because I was going to say, those look fantastic. I didn't know that was the Jim. I mean, that makes sense. Jim Henson, Muppets and all. But with Muppets, hey, how about the Muppet Mayhem?
Oh, that show is so good.
Wasn't it, though?
We told you to get back to Disney.
See? It all circles back.
Muppets Mayhem, so good. I hope there's more. Set it up for more. If we don't get more, I'll be fine. Obviously, we're all in agreement, rocking. Now, I have a question on this. I want to ask you guys this, what you think. Do you leave it as rockin' or do you call it something else?
No, Rock and Roller Coaster featuring the Electric Mayhem.
No, they'll change the full name.
I wasn't sure if you changed the full name.
The Electric Mayhem's Magical Mystery Tour.
That's a mouthful.
Nights of White Satin.
The Rock and Roller Coaster featuring Aerosmith is not a mouthful.
Everyone just calls it Rocket or Rock and Roller Coaster anyway. So that's what I'm saying. Do you leave the name?
Rockin' the Mayhem. Rockin' the Mayhem.
I'm wondering, do you change the name or do you leave the name? Or I think, frankly, I know it's the same roller coaster on the inside, but if you're changing the theming, it deserves a new name so people recognize that, oh, this is something different. Same, rethemed, but still different enough that people go, oh. Just because otherwise you're going to have some dumb tourist going, I've been on Rock and Roller Coaster. I don't need to go on that again.
Especially since you don't have what's-her-face doing the top 7 Disney must-dos on repeat in every hotel room.
Oh, yeah.
I think it would just be nice if they're going to do it, just to give it a little more credence to. I don't know if you have the Muppets Mayhem Coaster, whatever you want to call it. Muppets Mayhem Magical Mystery Tour is not bad. Hey, it's a better name than Knights of White Satin.
Yeah.
The experience. What was it? Knights of White Satin. It was some long ass name.
But also, since we're still talking about Disney and movies, Brian, what Ant-Man 3 did you watch?
I don't know. I haven't actually started watching again. You guys have just flipped the switch on me to the point where I'm literally going to have to sit down and watch this film. Because
Brian, I don't notice any editing issues. I had no problem following the plot. It made sense. It was a tad long for me.
I don't know if maybe
long at moments,
I
but I thought it was
like,
fantastic.
I don't know if I was just really tired or something, or if I wasn't really fooling. I don't know, because like you guys clearly are on both the same page, and I'm like, what am I missing? What am I missing here? So I literally have to like sit and like watch this film.
Also, that last scene, after rewatching it, I'm not even the post-credit scenes.
No,
the
I know
last
what you're talking
scene.
about.
After rewatching it and absorbing it and realizing what it actually means. Ooh. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Because they flipped that script.
They flipped the script. Mwah! Chef's kiss. And that's even before we get to post-credit stuff.
I know. It's...
You guys really liked it.
Listen, I liked it. It's far from the worst MCU movie. That's still Thor: The Dark World. Is it the best? No, but I'll say this. For something restart at the beginning of a phase...
I'm listening. I'm Wi-Fi, so keep talking.
As something as beginning of a phase like this, I thought it was a great setup for the future. I like Ant-Man. I think it got a bad rep for whatever reason. I know there's talk about some people who don't like MODOK for whatever. What were you going to do? How were you going to do MODOK unless you're just going to make him one giant animatronic thing? How else were you going to make MODOK the giant fighting head? I could do without seeing his ass, but what are you going to do about that?
So, I have a bit of a theory. And I think that there is, the biggest battle in movies is the uncanny valley. And I think there are people that are more susceptible to it than others.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have that problem. Very rarely do I run into an uncanny valley issue watching a movie. Though a lot of people have said that this movie is very bad for the uncanny valley.
I can see that. I can get it.
Yeah, MODOK looked weird. It's fucking MODOK.
MODOK
always
looks
weird.
And honestly, everyone said, well, his face looks weird. Look close at that out. And yeah, they're not wrong. His face looks weird. But really look close at the outfit and look at how they did it. It really is a giant floating head. He looks like MODOK. He looks like... What else? Yeah, I get it. The stretched out face does look odd. There's no way to do MODOK without him looking odd. MODOK looks weird!
Well, that's not even my concern with. I mean, right now.
No, but I'm just saying. I know some people who had a real problem with the look of MODOK. They liked the character, but they had a real problem with the look of MODOK. And I'm like, what were you gonna do? He's always been a cartoon. He works as a cartoon. The Patton Oswalt one, I know it's gone, but he looks weird. That's kind of his whole thing.
Well, my question though is, with this whole Jonathan Majors scandal that's going on,
It's kind of hard to call it a scandal and just a more of a shit show.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say until we watch it play out.
the problem is, do you think that they're still going to be pushing the King Dynasty? Because if something like, let's say, God forbid,
Yes, you could just recast him.
You can't pivot away from Kang.
I know, but they're going to have to do something.
Do what? You just recast him. This is very simple. A man who's has a million copies could easily have a million copies who killed a million copies. This is easy. You just recast
I know.
him.
And guess what? You can recast him with 7 different actors if you really wanted to.
Time out. Who's also a time traveler and has a time chair that we've seen? This could be just one Kang. Oh, all these Kangs are wiped out. Guess what?
I agree, but then you're going to have those nerds over there being highly offended because you showed the whole Kang Dynasty.
We've changed
Post-credit.
Bruce Banner. We've changed Rhodey. It doesn't fucking matter.
I know.
We survived Cloud Galactus. Does
I agree.
anybody
I
else
agree.
remember that
I
but
agree.
me? We survived Cloud Galactus. We're gonna be fine. I know what you're saying, Brian. I hear you and I get it, but at this point, it's almost not quite Doctor Who, but you could almost make Steve Moffat 1 + 1 + 1 equals fish.
And here's the big thing. And it's the one thing I picked up that I think is highly important.
Good pull. I didn't even think of that with Doctor Who. I didn't even think of that.
Just 1 + 1 equals whatever they want it to be.
Yeah.
At the end of this, whenever all these movies finish and we finish our second Avengers movie with this, we're at a hard reset.
Yeah.
We have a flashpoint. We have whatever you want to call it. We can have all new Avengers. Iron Man could be back as a different person, but we could still have Hemsworth as Thor if we want. Like, yes.
Two things. Can we get Captain America running Hydra? And can we please get Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man's body?
Maybe.
2 comic stories that deserve to be seen on film. Also, hard reset for everybody but Doctor Doom.
Hey, speaking of hard resets and what you said, Flashpoint, Dozer?
Yeah.
Have you heard the official, unofficial rumor about the surprise cameo that will be appearing in the Flash movie?
What?
You guys didn't hear this?
No, I don't.
It depends how much of a surprise you're talking about. Because
This is how much interest I have in the Flash movie.
Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, Kevin Smith wrote a script to Tim Burton to direct a Superman film.
Nicolas
That's-
Cage.
Bingo. So in this Flash film, we will be getting Nicolas Cage as that Superman.
Is this
Not-
gun? But here's my question: is this gun canon?
This is yes and no, because this is
Depends how well it does.
Well, no, this is the end of what DC was to the beginning, and it'll end in kind of like it's a nice send off to the Snyderverse, the Nolans, like the past of the DC.
Oh, the movies I haven't cared for.
to the
But
point where they
supposedly
go,
it's getting great reviews, but what do
Yeah.
reviews mean?
I'm sure it's fine. I like The Flash. I'm sure it's a fine movie. I'm not. It's not something I once was something excited about this until James Gunn is running this full time, full head of steam and controlling everything. I kind of don't care. I hate to say it that way. I'm excited. That's great. Nick Cage that's a great thing to have. Until I see how it amounts to more than just a hill of beans.
Look, I'll watch it when it comes on Max.
Correct. That's more what I'm getting at is I have no interest or drive because I'm just gonna let it come to me.
It's not.
I didn't
Well-
even go see Guardians 3 in theaters for crying out loud. I ain't going to see The Flash in theaters.
And Guardians 3 is theater worthy. It's good.
Yeah, I've heard great things about Guardians.
My sister saw it and absolutely loved it. Said the kids loved it. I'll see it when I see it.
And when you think about it, and you think that this was supposed to come a lot earlier in this phase, it makes more sense. It was supposed to kick more things off than it did.
Yeah, I get it.
Luckily, it doesn't. And that's the one problem it has with where it is right now. As it is, the whole movie, unlike every other Marvel property at the moment, has jack and shit to do with Kang or Secret Invasion.
You know what? They need more. I think that's something they're going to come to realize. Gun starting, you need to have things be more canonical and connected. They're at the point, if everything's so connected, no one can jump into this. No one can even jump into a new phase. It's so connected. If you don't know these, you're toast. It's hard to get a new audience. And granted, we have our audience for it, but I think you're better off to occasionally have a movie that was just a nice movie, one-off, and you're done.
Yeah, a one-off. That's the third in the series that you really need to see the first two to understand. I'm just saying, Gunn's not doing much better there. There are callbacks and things you pick up from the first movie.
I more meant as far as like it's part of a phase.
Yes.
Yes, it is a third movie. You are correct on that. I will concede. Absolutely. I'm wrong on that. I just more mean as part of a phase, having a one-off thing isn't so bad.
Yes, and the one-off thing works better to kick off the phase is what I'm saying than be smack dab in the middle of between two phases of.
I agree.
Like, at the very minimum, the release date should have been flipped. Guardian should have came out before Ant-Man.
I agree.
Because Ant-Man kind of sets you on this path of it's all Kang from here. And
it was right there, buddy. It was right there for you. It's all hanging back to me now. Right there. It was right there. Just
I would do anything for Kang, but
I won't do that.
But like I'm excited for Loki season 2.
Yeah, I am excited about Loki.
Somehow, some way, they've actually found a way to. I was so anti this show, and I didn't mind season 1. They somehow, some way, found a way for me to go. Okay, I'll watch Loki season 2 now.
It works. I don't know what it is.
I don't know how, but it does work. You're right. They found a way.
And see, like he was great as the variant in the end of season 1 of Loki.
Yes, the last of the war.
Yeah. The Exiled.
He was not the Exiled.
Oh. No, that's the one in Quantumania.
Yes.
Okay.
So he was the sole survivor.
The one above all.
Yeah.
Not the one above all. He who remains.
He who remains.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got to go back and rewatch that film.
Look, there is one callback I want. There's one thing I want in these, and this is just me wanting a little joke from another scene in Quantumania. But I want a Kang in a Baskin-Robbins uniform.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Give me a Baskin-Robbins Kang.
Nice.
That'll make more sense when you actually finish the movie.
I can picture that because didn't Scott worked at a Baskin Robbins?
Correct. They made a bunch of jokes about that. A bunch of jokes. It actually, again, the humor is there.
Oh, and Cassie's good.
Cassie's good. It's nice to see a little more Michelle Pfeiffer.
Now, this Cassie's different from the previous two. They had to cast an older Cassie.
Yes. Dad, a giant bee, a tiny man dressed as a bee, tried to kill me when I was 6. I've never been normal.
Nice.
So, Ant-Man, worth it.
I liked it. Worth streaming. Listen, not all of them are worth running to the theater for, but it's worth streaming. It's worth checking out.
I will give it a go. Well, speaking of worth it, so tonight's topic, gentlemen, I wanted to kind of do this
Quickly.
open-ended, however you want to look at this. Now, personally, I'm going down, so I'm using me as an example, but it got me thinking. If you were to spend only, well, at this point, 2 days max, park visit, preferably just Magic Kingdom, where would you stay?
Just Magic Kingdom, Bay Lake Tower, Poly, Grand Floridian, and then if I really need to, there's nothing else in the world, Wilderness Lodge.
Now, we are staying for about a week, though.
Yeah,
Down
you
there.
said
We'll-
2 days. You said 2 days here.
Well, 2 park days, but we're staying there for about a week.
What else are you doing? I need more parameters then.
Disney Springs, probably the outlets on Vineland for a day.
Off property.
I was thinking that,
Off property or Monterey.
keep in mind-
I would not spring then, unless you're going now. Unless you play, you could, if your park days are going to be consecutive.
I mean, maybe split the days up, maybe not 2 days back to back.
Then
I would, if you're going to stay on property, Port Orleans, French Quarter, something that you can boat to downtown Disney. It's an easy bus ride over to the Kingdom,
Done deal.
or frankly, at that point, off property,
off
Okay.
especially if
Off-
you're renting a car.
off
Well,
property
we're driving. We're driving down.
If you have a car, off property.
at a more resort hotel that has more things to do at the hotel.
My TA rate, I can get Port Orleans, Riverside, or French Quarter for under $600 for the week.
Then do it.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
Port Orleans. It offers you a way to get around. It's one of the outer hotels.
Yeah.
It affords you, if you change your mind and want to go to another park, it affords you that as well. I doubt that, but again, easy to drive in and out of. It's not too complicated. Or I would choose just stay right off of property. You'd be fine.
Top the second question off then with that. If I wanted to park hop to, let's say, I don't know, Epcot, just me, is Guardians of the Galaxy alone worth the upcharge for that park hopper?
I don't know how much they're charging for a park hopper anymore.
It's about additional like $80, $85.
No.
That depends on you. I don't think I love Guardians. It's probably one of my favorite. It might be my favorite attraction on property right now, but that's up to you. $80 for one ride anywhere.
I
is
know.
exactly worth it.
Not to mention that it would be good luck getting a virtual queue or paying like $20 on top of the $80.
I don't think you're gonna have the problem you think you're gonna have.
Really?
I've been able to get a virtual queue for that late in the day.
How was
They had-
Tron was virtual queue easy to get on Tron?
No,
Tron's a harder one right now.
that's
Guardians
a different
is-
beast.
It's a different beast. Guardians has been out. Guardians could be entering, possibly going to standby event soon. Maybe not during the summer. It may still be up there, but Guardians has a nice capacity too. It's
See, we'll be down there the third week in June.
yeah, Disney's there's
You going down, Dozier? You going down in June at all?
No,
It's Disney's more crowded than less crowded anymore, it seems. Yeah,
that could be for a few different things going on right now.
no, I just meant no. This is it. I'm talking for years. Generalization.
Hold on.
Remember, again, political climate. This is not a political climate statement at all. This is still a gigantic tourist destination all across the world. So
I agree.
that's why I'm saying that the parameters sometimes we discuss don't apply here. Disney, if you look at what they consider peak season, they consider the weirdest things that never were peak season to be peak season. Frankly, I don't think you'll have a problem. If you want to do it, that's up to you. But it comes up to you. That's a lot of money for just one attraction. And I love Guardians. I'm saying that's a lot of money for just one attraction.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well too. But yeah, we were definitely looking at, because I kind of wanted to do Bay Lake Tower, because I'm thinking, well, it's a 15-minute walk to Magic Kingdom, but then I'm looking at the price. Even with my discounted rate, it was like it was not a bad rate. It was like $1,500 for the week.
So,
but that wasn't including the 12th through the 16th, something like that.
That's if you were doing consecutive days, I'd say spend 2 days on property and move back off. Change around.
So, 12th through the 16th, Magic Kingdom is a 5 and a 6 crowd count.
Oh, okay.
Hollywood Studios is a 9. Epcot is an 8. Animal Kingdom is a 7. Dips down to a 6.
Why is Magic Kingdom a 5?
Better capacity.
Better capacity. Amount of rides.
So
remember, Hollywood's always going to be up here. The truth is, there ain't a whole lot to do at Hollywood. There really just isn't. I hate to say it that way, but there just isn't. Some of these parks, we love them. They're great. There ain't squat to do. Epcot and Hollywood have it. What are we doing issue, especially with they're better with kids at Hollywood. Epcot, what you doing?
Yeah,
which
I was just looking out for her walking. So that's why I was like, are you sure you don't want to? Because
she'll be fine.
I mean, well, honestly, what we would do is just pay the upcharge preferred parking. It's like $20 because what's nice now. It's free parking again on resort stay hotels. They don't charge you for parking fees anymore. So it would only be like.
Here, Brian, you would know better. Just if you made a reservation to eat at, say, the Wave, do they monitor how long you're parked there?
They really can't.
No, they can't, because here's why. We made reservations at Kona Cafe at the Polynesian the last time we were down there. We parked at the Polynesian and took the monorail over to. That's why I'm thinking
that's enough. We always used to do that. We always used to park at Bay Lake and walk over. Oh, I did that constantly. And then when they cracked down, let's make a reservation for the Wave. I went and had sweet potato pancakes and I walked over to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, they don't know. I
was gonna say I didn't think they did, but I know somebody once said they probably were going to. I'm like, I doubt you can do that, but okay.
Well, now we said it. Now we cracked the code. Now Disney's gonna come down on us, and they're gonna be cracking the whip.
They'd have to start giving out hang tags and whatnot.
Yeah.
Or have a separate parking lot for people just visiting, and they don't.
So that's why I'm saying that's another option. If just not to throw another wrench, but that's another option. Is we could stay off property and just whatever we're doing, make a reservation and park there for the day.
Yeah.
And just so you know, the Thursday and Friday are the least crowded days at Magic Kingdom during your trip.
I'm almost wondering if I need to buy the Genie Plus app.
It helps. The Magic Kingdom is its best park.
I know it is. That's what I'm saying.
It's really hard to justify the value at some of the other parks where it's like, oh, look, it's mostly shows. Like we didn't
sure.
buy it for Animal Kingdom because it was the safari.
Right.
And the Lines app, very good at telling me actual weights versus posted. So, it said 45 to 50. It said 50 minutes for the safari. Lines app said actual weight of 37. We waited about 35.
I don't even know if they do flick cards anymore. The end of times.
I
Good times. Good times.
They must, because I heard the beeping.
Classic.
Now, Dozer, if you were in my shoes, what would you do?
Have a blister because your feet are too damn big.
I was gonna say, what's last week we talking here?
11 and a half?
Oh, your feet's too big. Don't want you cause your feet's too big. Little fat swaller for you.
Hotel wise, where would you stay? My predicament.
Port Orleans.
That's okay. Yeah.
When in doubt, Port Orleans is the
I know.
answer.
I know.
It's easy to get
I
to
know.
any of the parks, and you can just boat to downtown.
I know.
I'm sorry, Disney
that's what
Springs.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Like the
Now, French Quarter or Riverside?
French Quarter. You're
I'm
adults.
a French Quarter. I'm a French Quarter man.
Yeah.
If you have kids, Riverside. You're two adults. French Quarter.
But Yeehaw Bob's at Riverside.
Yeah, I'm not thinking you're going to be spending a lot of time in bars.
At Ford, you can go anywhere and do whatever you want from there.
Yeah.
It's not a far drive to go over to the outlets and everything. It makes sense.
That's what I'm thinking too. And it's kind of quaint and quiet back there. And
Quiet's good.
French Quarter has an amazing pool.
It has beignets.
It does have beignets.
And the French toast there used to be incredible.
You can get
So-
more rest, especially for the more weary in your party.
Just walking around the Zora, it is very peaceful there. Honestly, and of all the resorts I've been to, it's the one. I don't know, maybe just because we stayed there the most at this point. I walk in, and it's just like a home feeling. It's like when I walk into Sapphire or Cabana Bay.
Yeah. I get that. I get
And
that.
not just because the bartenders recognize me.
Used to recognize you.
Well, and then I will pull the trigger on that one then.
And so it was when I
But for
was
a
there.
general question though, I guess the big question is when you go to Disney, is it worth it only doing 2 days?
You're talking to a guy who's flown down there for a day trip before.
I did 2 days this year, and look at all the ground I covered.
So it's worth it. It's always worth it.
I literally was at. I planned to go to 2 parks. 2 parks, possibly a third, just to ride Splash Mountain. I ended up at all 4.
That's
Brian.
a lot of walking. That's a lot of walking.
Brian, you're talking to a DVC AP.
Yeah.
I'm not the person to ask. I can go to Disney and not spend a day on it. I could not spend a minute on an attraction.
I want to. The more and more I'm like, God damn it! I should be a DVC.
I absolutely am he's a DVC member. I'm psychotic when it comes to theme parks. I say I'm gonna be nice and calm. This trip was my idea of nice and calm. That's the sad part. Oh, I had a great time at the parks. And then I'm only gonna go to Universal for 1 or 2 things. Insert SpongeBob 8 hours later.
8 hours
I don't know why I'm so tired. My buddy's like, dude, I really didn't do that much. Oh, I guess I really did a lot of things, huh?
Look, I stopped there for an afternoon on my business trip at Epcot. I rode Guardians. I rode Test Track. I had a couple drinks around the world. I had dinner at Le Cellier. Perfect day.
Oh yeah. And see that's what's nice though with being an annual pass DVC. You can just meander in them whenever you feel like it.
Yeah.
Unlike us normal folks, we have to like make the reservations and 60 days out, and
It wasn't
I have
that
to make the
bad.
reservation.
Yeah, he has to make reservations.
you know what I mean though. Like the whole only limited on what we can do and this and that. You're just like, oh, there it is. Just I'm gonna hop to Epcot. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that.
Listen, the worst thing was killing time to park hop with me going, oh, of course I'm stuck at Epcot. Shit. And they won't let me back on Guardians. Crap. I've done everything I want to do.
Now, I say this, but I'm going to throw a wrench in the Riviera plans. Well, I just gave the hint. Riviera. That's the real answer.
I know it is. The Riviera is the perfect answer for a resort. Oh my god, that place. Do you have a rental at Riviera? Which DVC?
We own at Dackle, but we could use them anywhere.
So you're at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
That's our home resort.
That's their home.
Gotcha. But I thought you had two.
2 contracts at Animal Kingdom because we
Yeah.
wanted more points in the 11-month window.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
So
makes sense.
that's more just DVC math. Where
Gotcha.
if we bought, we would have loved to buy points at Riviera, but then we'd be splitting our points up amongst 2 11-month windows, and we could only have the fewer points in the 9-month window, and that's just not as useful.
Maybe I'm still debating. I don't know if I'm going to go to Disney this year or not. I haven't decided.
Make a decision and let me check my points.
Well,
Bruce,
if you want, I make reservations for next year on May 31st, starting in 2024.
I know. Well, I'm just talking for this year. I'm undecided. Do I want to go? Part of it's gonna be how much I lose overall. Because if I'm going, I'm not gonna go and not try Pandora again.
Bruce, all you need to do is tell me when you're going, and I'll see what I can do.
Going down the last week of September. That is the last week of Rush of Fear. Hoping they do Rush of Fear again. So that's the first. I want to go in September. That's the most ideal for me right now.
I'll see what I can do. I got to look closer at my work schedule.
No problem.
But I may have some points I need to burn. Actually, I don't know how many points we have at the moment. We may be out. We may have points to burn. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say it's not. It's just one of those. I'm undecided if I want to do a day or two at Disney again. You know, do I want to attempt Tron? Do I want to attempt Flight? I'm like Avatar. Give me the attraction name. Flight. I don't need to go on
Passage is worth attempting.
I don't need to go on Navi River Journey ever again.
I've ridden it 3 times at this point. That is 3 times too many.
So Bruce, you never were able to ride Flight of Passage.
No, I forget the cast member's name. She gave it her all, but I'm telling her it's not gonna happen, honey. That's I kind of try to explain. She goes, "Yeah, but just," I said, "I can actually feel mechanisms inside of rides. I'm that kind of nerd. I'm telling you, that mech ain't close." Where Velocicoaster, I was squeezing. That son of a bitch was getting there. I'm like, I'm close. Just gotta crunch the legs. Hagrid's, oof. I sat down. Well, that hurts.
Yeah.
But no, Riviera is the play. That is the perfect resort.
Yep.
If nothing else, if I'm going down, I want to stop in Riviera and take a look. I've heard amazing things.
Best food on
best food,
campus.
Best pool. If you can excuse the sandy bottoms forget those exist. Best pool, best adult pool in that sun pool or whatever it is. Whole pool's like 3 feet deep, and it's just big, flat, and quiet.
Yeah.
Good distance to everything. Rooms actually feel like luxury. You get a room on the right side of the hotel. You can watch multiple fireworks from the room while making your own fireworks.
Nice. I see what you did there.
Heck, they even have rooms that don't even have a bed.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, yeah.
The Tower Studio only has the Murphy bed.
Only the Murphy. I was like, I have many questions here, and some of them I don't think are appropriate for this podcast.
Yeah, you're walking on, where the hell's the bed? Yeah, you got to pull it out of the wall.
Yeah, Murphy, that's fine. It's a bed. It counts.
And it's a pretty comfortable Murphy.
Is that what you guys stayed in, was a studio? Or
No, we had the one bedroom.
I was going
No.
to say.
Bella stayed in the Murphy bed.
Oh, okay.
But I had to put her to sleep. You lay in it.
Speaking of bed,
I'm
think it's
going
about-
there.
yeah, about that time, gentlemen.
Well, now we know what to do on a short trip to Disney.
Yeah.
Because we're the idiots.
So you
So
don't,
you don't
have
have
You
to
have
to
to be.
be.
Toodaloo.